So Stuart, how important are marine associated activities to the island?
I think that they are essential, really. Certainly sort of cows and the name of cows is worldwide. Marine-related tourism, isn't quite really properly understood by, I think, a lot of people on the island. Yachtsmen are actually tourists. They're visitors to Cowes, they're visitors to the island, and they bring a huge amount of spend to the island. Back, I think, in 2001, 2002, the actual revenue that yachting and yachting relating brought into the island was somewhere in the region of 56 million. So, it is enormously important. Cowes Harbour Commission, we are the statutory harbour authority for Cowes. The Commission not only is a statutory harbour authority, but we want to play our part in making sure that the fantastic asset of Cowes and Cowes Harbour and the River Medina to the Isle of Wight is fully utilised, it's properly managed, it's a fantastic asset, and therefore it needs to be properly managed for the interests of all the stakeholders, the harbour users, the yachtsmen, the ferry traffic, the commercial shipping. These all need to be managed, and we need to facilitate and ensure that more services are actually brought into play. We've now got consent from the government's Marine Fisheries Agency. That is consent for the whole of the Cowes Outer Harbour project. As you're probably aware, the Cowes Outer Harbour project has a number of key elements. One, it's putting in new infrastructure with a new detached outer breakwater that will actually finally transform Cowes into a true sheltered harbour instead of just an estuary opening. Secondly, we'll deliver a secondary new eastern channel that will provide increased safety and allow further segregation of the recreational craft from the commercial traffic and the ferries. And then thirdly, it will hopefully assist the harbour and the local economy by the development of a new marina over at East Cowes and support the regeneration of the East Cowes initiative. The Outer Harbour Plan, I think, will also help the commercial sector, the marine boat building sector. It is raising the level of Cowes, it is bringing more yachtsmen into Cowes, and that again slowly feeds into the local economy. The more yachts that you have here, either as visitors requiring repairs, but also the yachtsmen will then look at Cowes with the opportunity, can I keep my boat here? Can I bring my boat to Cowes and to the island for longer repairs or storage in the winter? It will allow the outer harbour to be utilised at its maximum benefit. For those of you who know Cowes, the outer harbour, the yacht haven, the moorings can be virtually untenable for long periods, and it's not only in the winter. Even when we get a gale, a northerly gale in the summer, it can actually disrupt events such as Cowes Week, around the island event. So, Cowes Harbour Commission consider that this is of enormous importance to the future of the local economy and also the harbour economy.
Any negative impacts?
Whenever you do a major development, there will always be changes. There'll be minor changes to the tidal regime. We've consulted widely with the yachtsmen, the various user groups. It's been modelled most robustly by our consultants, so there will be sort of minor changes there. Obviously, there'll be a slight change to the scenery of the outer harbour area, but change isn't necessarily a bad thing. Most people have been consulted for a long time about this important and exciting project, and now actually they want to see it delivered. The Outer Harbour Plan, I'm pleased to say, is still on schedule. As I say, it has fallen back a little bit from the original schedule, mainly due to the challenges of overcoming some of the the conservation issues that have now been fully addressed. We have the main government's consent in place. We hope that now that main consent has been given, that will trigger and allow the Isle of Wight Council to carry out the planning consent. CEDA, I'm very pleased to say, have gone out to look for a development partner, and they have had 3 expressions of interest and shortlisted 3 blue chip marina development companies. So there's real interest out there, commercial interest to deliver this project. CEDA are expecting to receive back the tenders towards the end of July, early August, and then enter into a period of negotiation with one of those 3 shortlisted companies, and then hopefully award the contract towards the end of the year. And that, with a very fair wind and fair tide, would allow that company to actually start construction in early to mid-spring of next year. We're still heading for completion of the Outer Harbour project in time for the summer season of 2012. It's not without its challenges, but we have to keep pushing towards that delivery date. I think the major challenges affecting the marine sector on the island, obviously we're in a fairly heavy recession at the moment. The government have indicated further fairly drastic cuts in spending, and therefore we're not quite sure how that is going to impact on certainly the yachting, the leisure-related part of the marine sector. I think we need to get our message out clearly to the mainland, etc., that the services that the island actually has in providing first-class yachting services, maintenance facilities, storage facilities at incredibly competitive prices compared to the mainland. It is worth coming to the island to actually receive and deliver those services. And it's as much about getting the message across as actually continuing to deliver those services. The best way of getting that message across is by word of mouth. We have to continue to use all available means of communication. We need to work with the Chamber of Commerce. We need to work with the Cowes Marine Cluster. We need to make sure that the Commission is involved and that we're all working together to get that message across, and that we work together rather than against each other. I don't believe that the island marine sector is in decline. There are some very strong elements. The South boats are working very well. They've got a fantastic product. They're in a niche market. We need to support these companies. We need to find special areas like South boats have done with their supply vessels. We need to continue to find specialist niche areas that we can build up and build other elements of our service industry from.